Hey guys, alright, first I would like to say congratulations to one of our members, Nick Humfeld. He actually competed in his first official bodybuilding competition about 2 weeks ago, and he did great. The pictures were amazing, and he did a great job. He didn't win, but you know what? At that level, it just matters that you show up, you diet, you work your ass off for one day. Well, as many of you know, or some of you know, or many of you suspect, or just don't care, I used to be a bodybuilder. You don't believe me? Here's a picture. And that is me at about 140 pounds. But I was shredded. All right, 140 pounds. That's pretty much what I was competing at. Right now, I'm about 152 pounds, for those of you who care. Relatively lean, not as lean as I was in that picture, obviously. But I've been getting a few questions about my bodybuilding career and sort of wanting to know what the story was behind it. Do I ever plan on doing it again? And why did I do it in the first place? And I thought I've been putting it off just because I'm like, you know what, nobody wants to hear about that. But apparently more than 2 people do want to hear about that. So I figured I could take a little bit of time and tell you about the bodybuilding history and what got me into it. And let's just start. All right, so I was young, around 11 years old, and I was all into working out. I think I watched like Rocky or something, right? You're like, yeah, Italian from Philly, you watched Rocky. And I got into working out a little bit. I had a little weight set at home. It was full of sand, and I'd go in my basement at around 11 years old and I'd work out. I didn't know what I was doing, but when I was 12, I asked my mother for Christmas. I said, you know, she said, what do you want? And I said, honestly, I want a gym membership. And so she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And so she actually bought me a gym membership. So every day after school, she would, not every day, but quite frequently, she would drive me to the fitness center, and I would stay there for about an hour and a half, sometimes like 2 hours. I would live there if I could. And I'd work out. And so by the time I got to high school, I had a little bit of muscle mass, as much muscle mass as a 13 or 14-year-old can have. And basically that's when I started wrestling. I was really into working out. I loved it. It was just something I loved doing. I just absolutely loved it. But like most of you that just start, all I would do is go in there and do chest and biceps and things that you could actually see in the mirror. I didn't learn to actually do legs until actually I graduated from college. So anyways, through high school I started lifting, and I always worked out. Then I went to college. Again, the food was horrible, but I still worked out. And then I got out of college and I wanted to be a personal trainer. Actually, during my college career, I decided I wanted to be a trainer, and I knew that I wanted to own a fitness center. I was all into fitness and working out and all that good stuff. And so I got out of school, college, university, whatever you call it. I met a gentleman and we decided to open a nutrition store. Well, this was really when I started thinking about actually bodybuilding per se. And I started researching all the supplements and this and that, and up until this point I really never took anything, including protein powder. It was just food, and I didn't really know all that much about supplementation and diet and this and that, but I learned. And so around, I'd say the year 2000, I actually competed. I worked out really hard, I got kind of symmetrical, I dieted, and I entered my first bodybuilding competition. The competing that I did was actually natural bodybuilding. We got polygraph tested and P tested. So I would get polygraph tested. We weren't able to take anything as far as diuretics are concerned, anabolic steroids, anything like clenbuterol, nothing. You couldn't even take andro. Androstenedione, there's a lot of those supplements still on the market today. You're not even allowed to take that. So I went, I did my first one, I competed as a novice, and I did well. I got second place. That's all it took. Then I got hooked. And so I ended up competing probably in my lifetime, probably about 12 different competitions, and I've traveled out of state to do them. And the way that the Supernatural bodybuilding worked was they do it by height class. So I would be in there against guys my same height, just a lot bigger. I was competing at around 140 pounds. And my thing was I was really symmetrical and I got leaner than everybody else. And I was good at posing. I taught myself how to pose well. If you're into bodybuilding, all you do is look at yourself in the mirror and flex. So that was an easy leap. And so anyway, I competed a lot, and I eventually won the Natural Nationals for my height class in the SMBF, which is a natural bodybuilding organization. There are a lot of different organizations. There are a lot of different natural organizations. This was just one. So I won my weight class, or my height class, and that was pretty much the top as far as what I could do. And around that time, I actually got out of the nutrition store, opened up my own gym, and really what happened is my priorities just changed. I stopped really caring about that, because the one thing with bodybuilding, you work so hard to get where you are, that day and that time that you're on stage, you look the best you'll ever look, the best you've ever looked, and you feel worse than you've ever felt before. It's horrible. You're dehydrated, you're tired, you're depleted, you've been dieting for months. I was miserable. You know, and so I decided to hang up my posing panties, and I haven't done a competition since probably 2005. It was just one of those things where I outgrew it. Is it great? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. You know, do I ever plan on doing another one? Abso-damn-lutely not. It wasn't that fun. But yeah, so I've done a bunch of competitions. Now I just enjoy staying in shape. I still enjoy looking good, just because I feel that it's essential and vital to the importance of your image. And so anyway, that's my little story. Bodybuilding, not too exciting. I won a bunch of trophies. They're all in my basement. And you know, I know that very well just because of being in the industry, fitness industry, for a really long time. I know that like the back of my hand. But yeah, for those of you who are wanting to get into it or thinking about it, it just takes a lot of hard work, discipline, and you know, I guess I can say it's fun. That's my bodybuilding story. Sorry if it bored you.